I see my name in shining lights. Yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
It's time to get down to business on the weekend's #1 business program. Known as the King of Networking, your host Shalom Klein has worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and created countless jobs. So, to success. Let's get down to business.
And indeed, we are all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You are on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you will not want to miss. So let's get right into it. I am so excited for our first conversation today with Sarah C., who is a successful entrepreneur, publisher, and author of a new book, 7 Years on the Front Line, True Stories and Tough Lessons about a Small Business That You Won't Learn in a Classroom. And God knows I've spent plenty of time in a classroom, so I want to learn the real story. So Sarah, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I know you have quite the amazing story. You are just a true immigrant success story. You came to the United States from Hong Kong at the age of 18. You've had quite the successful career over the past quarter century. I've just been reading your story, and we'll talk all about it. So Sarah, again, a pleasure to have you. So when was it that you caught the entrepreneurial bug? And tell us a little bit of how that story came to be.
I think since I was little, when I was a little kid, I think maybe 5 or 6 years old, I would sell stuff, out on the street, near in the neighborhood. And when I was in elementary school, I actually sold a raffle ticket to my classmate, and I earned some money from there. So I think at that point I knew that I was very interested in selling, making money.
And along the way, I know you've learned a lot of lessons, which is what this book is really about. I've just been reading some of the bits and pieces of your life, overcoming tuberculosis, overcoming a massive IRS audit, failed business transactions. Let's talk about some of the things that you've dealt with over the course of your career that, again, as you say, it's lessons that you can't learn in a classroom. What are the big things that stick out that sort of keep you up at night or wake you up in the morning, or maybe they don't at all, and maybe you're just over them?
I think the first incident that happened in August 2011, my goodness, it happened. It seems like so long ago. That was the first event that we were dealing with a customer that I was already doing business for 4 years, and we got several $1 million business every year, and they're very trustworthy people. And that year, they got a new COO come on board, and then I just knew that something was not going to go right. And then they placed a big order, 2.5 million, and I didn't have any legal paperwork in place. Even I was dealing with a new management team. So sure enough, within a very short time, they defaulted, on it was a lot of money for a small business like us. So that triggered, the first litigations. So I would say that was the first experience I had. My business started in 2004. We didn't have any problem. It just kept growing. And, by the third year, we were already doing $5 million business. And sure, in 2011, when that thing erupted, it just really threw me off. But definitely, absolutely, I learned a lot of lessons.
A lot of lessons. So we're going to talk about some of the identities that you have. I know being an immigrant, being a woman in small business, frankly, dealing with some of the racism and anti-China sentiments that I know you probably have seen and have possibly even experienced as an immigrant from Hong Kong. So I want to break all those pieces apart. But first, you just mentioned legal as an example. So a takeaway for our small business owners that are listening this evening as this program airs. What's the takeaway for a small business owner? What should they do to make sure that they spend the right amount of money on legal protection, but don't go overboard?
I would say, you make sure you have everything in writing. You have, not all businesses are good business. You just need to find the right clientele who are trustworthy and the relationships healthy, mutually, beneficial. I would say, the first step, you need to really identify and qualify the right customers for your company. And those is going to help your company grow instead of driving you crazy.
So I know you've learned those lessons from trusting a handshake deal and then seeing how that went. So you're giving the advice to make sure people don't have to go through those same pitfalls, trials, and tribulations. But launching and running a small business is a challenge on just any day of the week. It doesn't matter what line of work you're in. So continuing on the theme of, again, practical lessons learned, what are some of the things that you've seen, the unexpected surprises, both for the good and bad, in running a small business?
I would say for the most part, my company, this is the 17th years. It's just getting a lot more fun because I think being able to go through the 7 years, I learned a lot of lessons. I am able to really not making the same mistake I used. So I would say, delegation is a big part. I'm a visionary, like a lot of entrepreneurs, they're visionary. They started something from nothing. So I think we really need to focus on something that we're really good at while we delegate the task, to able employees. Find really trustworthy suppliers, vendors, partners, and employees to support you along the way. So that's my formula, that I've been using for the past years. I'm just experienced tremendous success, and fulfillment, in what I do in my business.
Well, congratulations on that success. Again, I'm chatting with the author of 7 Years on the Frontline, True Stories and Tough Lessons About a Small Business That You Won't Learn in a Classroom. But I find that ironic because you say not in a classroom, but you are the true success story. You came from Hong Kong to the United States at the age of 18, went to college here, attended law school, earned an MBA in business, so lots of classroom time. So you're saying that the real experience was not in the classroom environment. It was more on Main Street?
I would say, a lot of things. Now I'm a mentor at a university. A lot of students that I am mentoring, they're surprised that the thing I'm teaching them, they don't learn it in a classroom in the MBA program. So I think being able to discern people is a big thing, in business. It is being able to, as I said earlier, identify and qualify the right customer and partnership, because those people that you find the right people are those who are going to help you succeed in life and along the way in your business and also in your personal life, because the more they help you the business financially, the more you prosper, then it really free you up to do things that you truly enjoy.
That's for sure. And mentorship is so important. That's definitely advice that I think is so important and relevant for all of our listeners, regardless of how big or how small your business is, or whether you're even in business. Make sure you find a mentor and somebody that can support you. So as we're starting to come to the conclusion in our conversation, again, we mentioned several times, obviously, female, small business owner, and immigrant. How do any of those identities either sort of prop you up for success, or have you encountered any bias or challenges because of being a female immigrant in small business?
Not until the episode in 2012, that a New York company came to me and for a very unique book project for an airline, and he made a remark, telling me to go back to China. I was very shocked because prior to that, I didn't have any experience, and, people ridicule me like this. But I did find, I'm in the publishing, printing industry, is male-dominant industry. I had to work extra hard to prove myself that I'm able and I'm capable. But because my company had been around for 18 years, now I have established a reputation in the industry doing what I do, very unique publications.
Yeah, it's awesome. You've overcome those challenges, and you're setting the standard, frankly. So, Sarah, you've shared so much with us. Again, the author of the book 7 Years on the Front Lines: True Stories and Tough Lessons About a Small Business That You Won't Learn in a Classroom. And I know you're pretty honest in the book, and you share some real experiences. So, how can people learn more about you and pick up a copy of the book?
Yeah, they can visit my website, Sarah, SARAH, middle initial Y is Yvonne, and T for Tom, S for Sam, E for Edward, and .com. And you can go to the store webpage, purchase my book. If you type the code FAITH, Faith, you're going to get free shipping.
That's awesome. Sarah, thank you so much. And I know that you're so passionate about mentoring students, teaching people about the art of self-publishing, and especially dedicated to teaching those in particular. I know that you say are first-time authors, school administrators, teachers, police officers, and teenagers. And I know you're a frequent speaker, so I encourage all of our listeners to get in touch with you. SarahYTSE.com. Sarah, thank you so much. And we're going to squeeze in a quick break and more small business jobs and entrepreneurship when we return after this quick commercial break. Be sure to get on my website, shalomklein.com, and be sure to check out our sponsors, ChicagoSignatureLimo.com and HealthPlanChicago.com. We'll be right back.